Green Carpet, and I'm with Todd Hernandez, the president of Northwest State Community College. And Todd, when we talk about events like the Green Carpet, they're a piece of what this community college does. And this community college does so much for the residents of Northwest Ohio. It's really an honor to be a part of this event.
Yeah, it certainly is. The college mission is to improve the lives of individuals and strengthen communities. So it's such an honor to be able to look out in the community and find other organizations or individuals that are making a difference and really aligned with what we are as an institution. So it's one of my favorite evenings of the year. Bar commencement, being a community college president, commencement's probably my favorite, but This is right there with it.
And when we talk about this, because the other probably event that you probably have on your mind is Scholarship Night, and that is so deeply tied to what the foundation does here, what this event itself does, and the impact that the faculty and staff here at Northwest State wants to make on the people that walk through these hallways is always very humbling and impressive to hear about.
It is. I'm hoping all of the audience already knows that in 2023, Northwest State was ranked as the #1 community college in the state of Ohio. And one of the metrics that was measured during that ranking was the affordability. Now, we don't have the lowest tuition in the state by far. We don't have levies that help with that. We have a foundation that works really hard, and we have a community that's very generous. They donate their money. The foundation works hard, and we're able to redistribute those funds to our students. The 60% of our students pay zero out of pocket, and 40% paid $103 per credit hour total.
And when we look at the reach for Northwest State, we're excited to talk about progress down in the Van Wert campus that will allow Northwest State to serve another group of students farther south than our Northwest Ohio footprint here.
Yeah, absolutely. So last year, one of our award winners was the Van Wert Foundation, but we're launching a new campus, full-service campus in the city of Van Wert. It will be open in January of 2025. However, we're already starting classes in the fall of this year, so in just a couple of months. There's a scholarship opportunity for residents that want to attend classes in Van Wert and get the first class free.
Great. So find out more information on Northwest State's website?
northweststate.edu.
Great. Well, Todd, thank you for hosting again, and thanks for having us here for Green Carpet tonight.
My pleasure. Thank you.
We'd like to start things off by bringing up the president of Northwest State Community College, Todd Hernandez.
Before the event started tonight, I was talking to Jim Kavanaugh out in the area where we were doing some interviews. And he's coming from Boston. He said one of the things that he appreciates about Ohio and small-town USA is how hard we work here. And I have to agree with him. The setup here, so I want to say thank you to the team here at Northwest State, the decorating and food services and IT and Robin and her team. They do a phenomenal job putting on this event, so thank you to all of them. Next, I'd like to thank the donors, right? So we're here to raise money, so I hope you brought your wallets, credit cards, we take those as well. On the table, there's a little plaque that says Northwest State #1 community college in Ohio. How many of you are aware of that or know anything about it? That's not enough hands. How many people? Really? So in those rankings, there were three different metrics and criteria that it was a third party they looked at. We didn't even know we were being assessed. We were one of over 800 community colleges that this independent third-party group looked at. But the first metric that they looked at was the affordability. And we're not the least expensive community college in Ohio. There's other community colleges that have levies that help pay the tuition, keeps the tuition low. But what we do have is a caring, giving community. And this event is part of that. We have, kind of look at our student bodies, we have a group of students that are all employer-sponsored, and they're apprentices. They don't pay anything out of pocket. We have high school students that are taking college classes with us, College Credit Plus. If you're a parent and you have kids and you don't know about College Credit Plus, grab me in the hallway. They don't pay any money out of pocket. So take those two populations out, and then we have just the learners that come to us every day, come to our door and want to take some classes. Of that population, 40% of that population pays zero out of pocket. And that's due in large part to the foundation, the work they do, and the generosity of all of you. The other 60% pay an average of $103 per credit hour. $103 per credit hour. I don't know how many of you are writing tuition checks for your kids, but I'm sure it's more than that. And then finally, tonight, I'd like to say congratulations and thank you to the Making a Difference awardees tonight. As a community college whose mission is to improve the lives of individuals and strengthen communities, it's a pleasure for us to be able to look out into our community and find other organizations and individuals that are like-minded and community-minded and are making a difference. So congratulations, and I know you'll have fun this evening. It's always a great event, and thank you for coming.
Green Carpet event for 2024, and we are back with our student speaker tonight. Could you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Kimmy White, and I just graduated last Saturday with my degree in industrial technology.
How was that experience walking across the stage? It had to have been pretty cool.
It was really cool. It was a little intimidating, but having my dean up there and Todd up there, it just made it a lot easier, and it was really exciting, and I feel incredibly accomplished.
You should. I will say that right now, and I'm happy to hear, those connections that can make you feel more comfortable, because really I think that's what a lot of what Northwest State is all about. Get you the education that you need, but do it in an environment where people care about you and people know and find out what you need and can help as much as possible.
Absolutely. When I gave this speech at Scholarship Night, Franklin, the dean of the STEM and Industrial program, he was second row right on the end. So every time I looked at the audience, I would look at Franklin, and it was just reassuring that I knew that he was supportive, and I knew everybody else was too, but it was nice to have him right there front and center, knowing that he was right there with me.
If you can sum up your experience here in 10, 15 words, how would you portray coming to Northwest State to pick up your education?
Coming to Northwest State has been life-changing in a variety of different ways. It has made me a better woman, it's made me a better mother, and feeling the accomplishment of finishing my degree is something that I can't really describe.
Plans for the near future?
I am taking the summer off to enjoy it with my kiddos before I return in the fall to finish a second degree.
Outstanding. Kimmy, thank you, and we're excited to hear what you have to say later on tonight.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Kimmy, and I just graduated with my degree in industrial technology, and I would like to share my story of perseverance and how I ended up at Northwest State. I was 7 years old the first time I truly felt not good enough. May 15th, 1997, standing in the courtroom with my entire family who was there to celebrate my stepdad legally adopting me. I should have been excited, but I felt sad and out of place. I didn't understand why my father didn't want to be a part of my life, and I was too young to understand that it had nothing to do with me. He was a drug addict who had his own battles and demons to fight. I wish I could say that questioning my worth was something that I grew out of, but that unsteadiness has followed me. My parents are good people, and I was an average student, but it still followed me to my first attempt at college, where I slept off hangovers instead of going to class and dropped out before they could kick me out. It followed me to Oregon, where I dabbled with the same drugs my father used, and it followed me to New Jersey, where I thought I had finally figured out how to stand on my own 2 feet, but a complicated medical issue pushed me back onto the path I was before. I was 25 when my father died. He was supposedly sober at the time, but a massive heart attack from decades of drug use took his life. It was then that I was face to face with my own mortality. I was already 25 with nothing to show for it. I was living with a friend, jobless, and without direction. I never got validation of my worth from him, and now I was out of time. It's hard to grieve someone you don't really know, and I spiraled until I was an anxious and depressed mess. I felt like a screw-up, just like him, and I couldn't pull myself out of it. I intentionally overdosed on my prescription medications and unintentionally showed myself how much I wanted to live. After being medically sedated in the CCU and spending time in the psychiatric unit, I left the hospital with confidence and determination to turn my life around. Flash forward to falling in love, getting married, and starting a family. I would love to say that my husband encouraged me to go back to school, and that's why I'm standing here today, but that's not the case. I didn't know when I said my vows that the person that I fell in love with didn't exist, or that he would destroy the confident woman I had worked so hard to become. I didn't know that everything I had finally figured out about myself would be questioned yet again. The abuse started simple, and it wasn't until 2 months after our 5th anniversary, as his hands were around my throat, screaming that I was the problem, that I was stupid, and that I didn't deserve to live, that I thought of my children and decided that if I lived through the night, I would go to work tomorrow and never come home. I would figure out how to get my children out of that house, and I would do better for them. So I stayed up all night, anxious that he would come home while I was asleep and kill all of us. But the sun rose, as it always does, and I dressed for work, my Social Security card, my ID, and the $500 I had managed to squirrel away in my pocket, and I left. My sister was gracious enough to let me stay with her until I could get into an apartment. And 3 weeks after leaving my home in Michigan, I started my new life in Ohio as a single mother of a 1, 2, and 4-year-old. And life moved very quickly after that. I was working full-time and spending countless hours on the road for medical issues with one of my children. I had to quit my job as 1 surgery became 2, and 6 weeks of recovery turned into 16, with months of additional physical therapy. How could I go back to work when my daughter needed me more than ever? Being a mother is my favorite role. I never knew what I wanted to do with my life, but I knew that I wanted to be a mom. I wish I could say that it's enough for me, that being a good mom gives me purpose, and it does. My children are the greatest joy of my life. But after months of being the sole provider for 3 young kids who were completely dependent on me, I needed to figure out who I was outside of being a mother. I needed to find my worth again. I needed a plan to get us into our own house, and it needed to fit into my already very busy schedule. You'd think, based on circumstances, that going back to school was the obvious choice, and if you know me, you may think that it was an easy one, but it was anything but. That same unsteadiness that I felt as a young girl, and again at the end of my marriage, jumped on my back with a vengeance. What if I really was stupid and I failed like I did all those years ago? What if I wasn't good enough and everybody knew it? I thought that if I went into school with a good attitude and ambition, that I could fool everybody into thinking that I belonged here. So I set up first semester classes, a full-time schedule that I pretended wasn't daunting, and that included a lab physics class that I just knew would be my downfall. I bought my books like it was no big deal, joking and being friendly with the staff while I tried not to think about the contents of said books. I'll skip over the long nights of studying, the frustration when I couldn't quite grasp what I was learning, and the times that I cried because I felt like no one else was struggling, a thought made worse by usually being the only woman in my classes. It's not that those things don't matter, because they do, but I'd rather tell you that I aced that daunting physics class. In fact, I finished that semester with a 4.0, an accomplishment I never thought I could achieve, and one that I'm still incredibly proud of. It was then that I really started to pay attention to my interactions on campus, and I realized that the only person who didn't think I deserved to be here was me. The only person who thought I was dumb was me, and I was the only person that thought I wasn't good enough. Realizing you're standing in your own way is a tough pill to swallow, but that realization is one of the greatest things that has happened to me. I realized that it didn't matter that my father was a drug addict who didn't love me enough to know me, or that my ex-husband thought I was stupid and would never amount to anything. The friendly, intelligent, hardworking, funny, bubbly personality I adopted to make myself believe I belonged here is my own. I am all of those things. Being a student at Northwest State has been an amazing experience. I just graduated with a 4.0 with my degree in industrial technology and will return in the fall to complete my maintenance technician degree. I will be able to give my children a better life, and NSCC has taught me that I too deserve the beautiful life that I'm creating. I would not be able to go to school full-time while raising 3 children if I did not receive financial aid. I'm so grateful to the donors who make higher education a possibility, and to the many, many people in this room who have believed in me when I could not. Thank you for being here tonight, and thank you for hearing my story.
Welcome back to Green Carpet here at Northwest State Community College, and we are back talking with another special guest tonight. If you could introduce yourself.
I'm Jim Kavanaugh. I'm the president of Davalin.
And we're just honored to have you here tonight. So honored to be able to honor you, your company, and your team. It's all about the team for Davlin.
It definitely. I mean, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the people and their dedication to our patients that we serve, along with the community itself.
There's so many things that go on in Williams County, and I think whenever you bump into one of those, you're going to see somebody from Davlin there. They care that much about what is happening in the Williams County area.
Yes, definitely. From the homeless shelter in Bryan area to making donuts in the area to even just helping people in general. We'll be doing stuff with Habitat for Humanity and just general donations. A lot of them are on committees, on boards, and different volunteer organizations, donating to the schools to help with the athletic complex and other areas. So it's absolutely a wonderful group of people that I work with, and I'm very honored.
And Jim, I'd be dropping the ball if we didn't talk about what Davlin does. There are so many crucial things that your company is involved with.
Yeah, so Davlin actually creates phototherapy equipment. It's for helping patients with autoimmune diseases. What people don't really understand, they think it's just a physical disease with there's some pain with the skin that the drying of the skin that happens both with psoriasis, atopic dermatitis, but even vitiligo, where your skin changes color due to pigmentation. It's the physical aspects of it, but even more so, it's actually the emotional aspects of it and the pain that they have. So we're very proud to have a product that is not drugs related, as a lot of people, there's side effects, and a lot of people don't like taking their drugs. So being able to offer this that helps both that physical and emotional pain, continuing and making them productive within society.
And I imagine there are so many stories that your team could talk about just the folks that you're serving, knowing that there is a company and a group of people that care about them and the things that they go through day to day, because just to have somebody there having their back for them has got to be very important.
Yeah, definitely. We receive comments from patients all the time. We have patients that actually have cancer where you can't take drugs, and it really melts my heart when I see them. The team sends them to me, and I actually often reach out to some of them to talk about their stories and really understand it more. But truly, they're surprised that what phototherapy has done. They weren't actually offered phototherapy by their physicians, so we have a lot of work in continuing to educate patients themselves to really show this is an alternative for them that can make that difference.
Jim, thank you so much for being here tonight. We're so pleased to be able to recognize you and the crew at Davlin.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Glad to be here.
Our first award winner is in the business division. Our Making a Difference award winner for 2024 is Davlin. Founded in 1981 by David Swanson, Davlin has become a leading manufacturer of phototherapeutic products with a worldwide presence. The company's corporate headquarters and manufacturing facilities are located in Bryan. A network of international distributors offers Davlin products in more than 70 countries around the world. They employ approximately 130 individuals, prioritizing promoting from within and holding team-building events such as Office Olympics and Business After Hours. Their phototherapy products are used worldwide by dermatologists and by patients in their home to treat photoresponsive skin disorders such as psoriasis, vitiligo, and also eczema. Davlin proudly supports the Bryan Area Foundation, Fountain City Amphitheater, and the Bryan Chamber of Commerce. They also help host and donate to the Williams County Leadership Classes, investing in future leaders for Williams County. During the initial COVID period, Davlin found a way to produce and distribute hand sanitizer for free to local businesses. They were also able to use their machines to sterilize N95 masks using different wavelengths of light. In 2023, Davlin was purchased by Madison Enterprises. Madison is a company group that specializes in putting different medical device companies under one umbrella. Their commitment to empowering and rewarding their employees and their service to community remain unchanged. Davlin is absolutely making a difference in Northwest Ohio and around the world.
So when I think of Davlin, I think about compassionate, visionary, bold. I think about people who genuinely care about others' needs. Empathy. Empathy is a big thing. And very smart.
Most businesses in the area, you know their products or their customers are here, and ours are not, right? You know, we have machines in probably over 100 countries. you know, everybody in dermatology knows who we are. We have great brand awareness in there and also in some other medical specialties, but it's kind of funny being in a community that nobody has any clue what we do.
Through a friend of mine, I heard about Davlin. She actually worked here, and that's how I became to know about Davlin. I didn't know it was even here for as long as it has been until I was informed by her.
So that actually started in 1981. Dave Swanson started the organization. He was working for a pharmaceutical company that actually used phototherapy to help increase the efficacy of it. He expanded it globally in 70 different countries. So he did a wonderful job from that side.
I was diagnosed with psoriasis, and I have a particular kind that is just associated with the hands and the feet. And believe me, when they say, you know, once you get it, it's gonna keep going unless you treat it, it does, because it eventually affected both my hands and both my feet.
Our mission is to make people safer, healthier, and more productive. With phototherapy, we find that patients with psoriasis, vitiligo, atopic dermatitis all have physical pain and emotional pain. With phototherapy, we're able to help improve in both of those areas to improve the physical and emotional wellness of our patients.
Everything that moves out of this building changes somebody's life for the better, which is also not just the patients themselves, but it also improves the overall healthcare ecosystem financially, so that's a nice thing.
The other side of it is Madison Industries bought us 2 years ago. And really the investment that they've made from economically, from education, process and procedures really helped strengthen the organization to set us up for further growth.
I would consider our big clinical machine the #1 product. It's sort of the flagship. It's got the best technology. You know, there's 2,000 or so of those out in the field. And we have really good market penetration with it. And each one of those treats possibly hundreds of patients a month.
I found that they value people. You know, they value lives, not just, you know, out to make just money and, you know, do their own work, to give back to the community.
The community, they're the people that we hire, the people that we bring in that acknowledge Davlin as a great business or a not so great business. So really investing back in that community and the people is essential for them to see, to want to come work here.
I mean, we really try to get people to volunteer and do things. I mean, that's the biggest thing, you know. We did it informally, now formally, it's, you know, 2 service days a year that will pay you to go and do whatever. You know, it's gotta be, you can't make up your own organization or something. It can be an organization you're part of, though. We don't force you to do things.
Davlin was one of the companies who was very gracious to actually care for people in homelessness. You know, when we think, we live in Northwest Ohio and people think it's all nice and dandy here all the time for everybody, but oftentimes companies and people who have you know, power or position don't understand what it means for a person who lost it all due to circumstances of life.
You know, truly making a difference in the community. There's really only one person I can really nail down that made that difference and made it for Davlin, and that is Dave Swanson. The investment that he made, the growth, the passion, the willingness of what he's done over that 40 years. You know, again, being new to the town, I go around, everybody knows Dave Swanson.
My friends from Davlin, thank you for the hard work you do. Thank you for your heart of compassion. Thank you for, you know, being humble. Thank you for reaching down and meeting people where they are at, whether through your business or when you're giving back to the community. You have shown your heart of care, and we greatly value that. Thank you.
So, truly an honor to receive this award. Like I said, I've only been here about a year. I have to thank my wife. She really took the chance on me to really come up. We live in Boston, 16 years. We're originally from Ohio, but she took the chance on me of moving to Northwest Ohio, the only part of Ohio we did not know, to a small community. She's been here a few times, and really, the people, all of you, the friends that she's made just in her little time here, she really understands now why I love it here and love working with the people that I do. So, first off, Kimmy, I mean, she's really the one making the difference here. There was an unbelievable story for you overall. So please, let's give it up to Kimmy again. That was absolutely awesome. And for those who don't know FIBA, FIBA runs the sanctuary in Bryan, Ohio. She's an amazing woman. She came over here, even hearing her story. Hindu, became Christian, and she was disowned by her family. She came over here and started running the sanctuary. For all the bad press that's been going on in Bryan with what's happening there, what she does it right. And it's just amazing the lives that she's turned and helped people transition into the world. So as you look into the future of a business that's really making a difference, please look at the sanctuary in FIBA. So again, truly honored. Davalin making a difference, that is what brought me here. It's the people that I brought at the table that really welcomed. I'm receiving the award in honor of all of them and what they've done. It's very humbling to see yourself on the videos there. I've never seen that before, so it was it was a little tough there. With Davalin making a difference, it's that broader community. As they said, it's really the challenge that people have. You see the emotional pain, you see the physical pain that a lot deal with. It's about regaining their lives overall and regaining you. It's a great marketing campaign that Robert put together, and it truly is the case when we talk to a lot of those patients and what it's been able to do for them to really bring them back and make them more productive. Vitiligo is a very emotional disease. It was the Michael Jackson disease, if you know that, and it's really what changes the pigmentation of the skin. And it's not covered by a lot of people, but it becomes emotional stress overall. So just really, it's so empowering of what we've been able to do and help these people without drugs. And a lot of people don't want to take the drugs to do with phototherapy. For making the difference in Northwest Ohio itself, as I said, from being a small community, being a business like this, you make a difference. It's seen. If you would have done this in Boston, what we do is not really seen by the community, but what you do in this community, it is. So it's so encouraging what we've done in Madison Industries. When they purchased the company, they want us to grow, and we're investing in the company, we're investing in the people. We know it's difficult to bring a lot of talent from outside the area to small communities, but they're investing in it. I'm investing in the people that we have here. Northwest State Community College has been critical to doing that. We bring them in for trainings. We have students, we sponsor students to come here that work with us to really enable them to go to the next level and help us grow. Again, it's the Davalin team. All of you truly are remarkable. Friends, professionally, what you've done and welcomed me and my family. See, I'm an emotional guy. It's always on my sleeve. My wife asked me if I was going to cry, and I said no. What you've done, it's really what I needed, what the community needed overall. So thank you so much for that. As they said, however, I invited Dave here because truly it's him. I've been here a year, and this Making a Difference award and what Davalin's done has taken many years, and the 40 years that he's done it is just truly remarkable in itself. Investing in the people. There's people still that's been where the longest is 32 years that they've worked there overall, and they stay there because of what it's done. What I see them do and step up in the community, step up for each other when times are tough. No questions asked, and they do that. And that's just amazing about this community as a whole. Dave invested in the area, and it's his dedication that got us here. So he's still doing it. Dos Equis, if you haven't been there, great place. Dave's going to give me free food now for saying that. He has another place, Sazarex, next door, and he's really investing and continues to do that. So Dave, thank you so much for what you have done in helping make a difference in this community itself. Thank you.
Talking with John Saul from the Symphony of Trees. John, welcome to the Green Carpet event. We're glad to be recognizing you and the entire team that works hard with the Symphony of Trees in Henry County.
Happy to be here. We're looking forward to a fun night.
So tell me about the event itself. For those who don't know, which there probably aren't very many, but this event helps out a lot of people in Northwest Ohio.
Yes, we support 3 organizations locally that all donate and support the funds that we raise to children. We have a couple of events. One of the big events we do in October is called the Witch's Brew, where everybody gets dressed up either as a witch, wizard, or warlock, and it's kind of a fundraiser bar crawl in downtown Napoleon. And then late November every year we host a 4-night event. It starts with a business after hours, in the Henry County area, and then we have a Friday night event, a Saturday day event, a Saturday night event, and then on Sunday a children's event. And so all 4 of those events are aimed at raising funds for the organizations that we support.
And we would be remiss if we didn't talk about those organizations. It's a lot of fun for a lot of people, but we're doing it for a reason.
Yep. A lot of words, but the one is CASA, which is the Court-Appointed Special Advocates, the Center for Child and Family Advocacy. We also make a donation annually to the Henry County Hospital.
And all of those efforts each year, different things that they're doing, CASA and the center, their mission stays about the same. The hospital is raising different funds for different equipment and projects at the hospital campus.
Yeah, it's all aimed at recruiting those court-appointed advocates, providing equipment to help with children and interviews and that sort of thing. And so, really, it's their discretion on how they use the funds, but they are vital funds, and they go directly into the community.
If people want to learn more about Symphony of Trees, can they find it online?
Yes, we have a website, symphonyoftrees.com. Go out there and look it up. We've got the updated event schedule out there already.
Glad to honor you guys at Symphony of Trees here at the Green Carpet tonight. Next is our organizational award, and our organizational award for 2024 is being awarded to the Symphony of Trees. The Symphony of Trees mission has remained the same for 24 years now. All of the funds they raise aim to serve children in need right here in Northwest Ohio by supporting the following vital organizations: Northwest Ohio CASA, Court-Appointed Special Advocates, the Center for Child and Family Advocacy, and the Henry County Hospital. Collectively, these organizations offer life-changing programming and services to children in need, and in 2023, they were once again able to raise $100,000 through generous donations and help. Their focus is on helping children who have experienced abuse or who would otherwise not have a voice. Every person, every dollar, every hour of volunteering helps them to achieve that goal. By doing so, they reinforce the mission of providing hope and support to the needful children of Northwest Ohio. Please work with them as they take steps towards eradicating the abuse that dwells here by supporting your neighbors. It's through this long-standing commitment to service that Symphony of Trees truly is making a difference in Northwest Ohio.
Our overall mission is to make sure that we are giving resources and a voice to children in our community who otherwise have none. So we work year-round to raise money that will support 3 local agencies: the Center for Child and Family Advocacy, the Henry County Hospital, and Northwest Ohio CASA, so that they're able to provide those resources to families and children.
I feel it's one of the most impactful local charities in the area. All the board members are volunteers, and every dollar that we raise goes to the organizations that we support.
Through all the various committees, I think a lot of people just think of the event that takes place in November, but we have a couple other events that take place in other months too. But we are working on this all year round. There's a ripple effect of how many people get involved through the numerous committees. I would say there's a couple hundred people involved with all the work that goes into planning the events.
The Center for Child and Family Advocacy is a nonprofit mental health agency that serves all victims of crime. And how our agency benefits from the monies raised from Symphony of Trees is we are able to purchase new play material for play therapy and sand tray therapy, and we are also able to provide a calming atmosphere for a children's advocacy center.
The hospital sees patients from young to old, and when we're caring for patients, a lot of times our services are related to adults. So when children come in, we modify some of those service lines to better care for children, to make sure that they're safe while they're getting their therapy. And we use it for different equipment and technology upgrades for children.
Northwest Ohio CASA is a nonprofit organization, and we recruit and train community volunteers to advocate for children who have experienced abuse or neglect while they're involved in the juvenile court and child welfare system. So these are children who are coming into the foster care system at no fault to their own. And our role is to truly provide a voice for that child throughout that process.
The people you meet through Symphony of Trees are all in it for the right reasons, and not one of us takes a dollar home. Every single dollar goes back to these agencies and children in our community.
On an annual basis, we have been raising close to $100,000. And typically what we do is divide that money up 3 ways. And so lately we've been issuing checks to the 3 organizations that we support primarily for, north of $30,000 a year.
And so what's so unique about this is not only is the money local, stays local, but the ripple effect of how it helps people that goes way beyond Henry County for people who come into our community and are in a bad position and need help, and we're able to do it because of the money we raise.
If you have a CASA, they're volunteers. Those volunteers do a fabulous job. They research the different child's issues, the family issues. They make a report to the court, written and orally, which is a tremendous help to the judges and magistrates and those who have to make decisions about these children who are in very difficult situations.
Through this, I have been able to Hank up. I have been able to bring our therapy dog, Hank, into our community, and we're able to share him with the hospital and take him to the hospital, take him to families with CASA, into the court system, with our children's advocacy system.
Recently, John Saul, actually, being in his position, has been very helpful with getting some of the larger donors, which has been really nice.
Really what we're trying to do is kind of spread the awareness to more of the 4-county area, and not just Napoleon Henry County, because a few of the organizations that we support have offices in the 4-county area. And so one of our goals is to try and spread fundraising awareness to the 4-county area.
I think what brings us together as the 3 agencies is that we get to work with an awesome organization as the Symphony of Trees and help the children in our community know that they have a voice and that they have a group of people behind them all the way, and that they're not alone.
I think of grace, because I think many of the people who come to this event are looking for grace. They know they haven't been in a great place in their life, and some people don't think they deserve what is being given to them. But I think many of the people that work on this are saying, but by grace go I. And so thank heavens people are willing to give that grace. We don't ask for your story. We don't ask for why you got to where you're at. We just know you need help.
To be a part of a compassionate and giving organization that's right here in our community is something so special that it's really difficult to almost put into words.
There's a lot of compassion with this group, and that's a great group to work with.
So Symphony of Trees, as a nonprofit organization, we run purely on the ideas and volunteer hours of, like, was mentioned in our video, hundreds of people annually. We work year-round to raise money so that the Center for Child and Family Advocacy, Northwest Ohio CASA, and the Henry County Hospital are able to provide some amazing resources that they have for children and families right here in Northwest Ohio. We bring awareness to child abuse prevention and spread the positive message of giving a voice to children who otherwise would have none. We're so thankful for this recognition and bringing light to our organization. We're so appreciative of the time and the donations we receive each year, and we're grateful for the people that we are able to help because of so many volunteers and donors. This year, we are donating $93,000 back to those local agencies right in our communities, and our goals are bigger and brighter for 2024. Thank you all so much, and we look forward to seeing you this fall, November 14th through the 17th. Write it down. At the Napoleon Armory. Thank you.
I want to thank you for this wonderful recognition of the work that's been done by the Symphony of Trees. What started in 2000 as a tapestry of tables tea in the Trinity Center of St. Paul Lutheran Church in Napoleon to aid local organizations has grown into a nonprofit corporation benefiting countless children in Northwest Ohio through the 3 agencies to which Symphony of Trees donates. Hundreds of individuals have worked countless hours for the Symphony of Trees, whether it be as board members, volunteers, and over $1.2 million has been passed on to local agencies through this period of time. Through my experience previously as a family court judge and as a Symphony of Trees board member, I was personally able to see all the good done through the funds provided to these agencies by the Symphony. When I was interviewed for the video that you just saw, listen, no one wants to be on that video, trust me. But I was asked what makes people volunteer for Symphony of Trees, knowing how much work is required of them. I have an answer. And I would like to read this poem to you that was written by Ina Hughes. It has been read before at the Symphony, but not for a long time. It's entitled, "We Are Responsible." We are responsible for children who put chocolate fingers everywhere, who like to be tickled, who stomp in puddles and ruin their new pants, who sneak popsicles before dinner, who erase holes in their math workbooks, who can never find their shoes. But we are also responsible for those who stare at photographers from behind broken windows, who can't bound down the street in a pair of sneakers, who never counted potatoes, who are born in places where we wouldn't be caught dead, who live in an X-rated world. We are responsible for children who bring us sticky kisses and fistfuls of dandelions, who sleep with the dogs and bury goldfish, who hug us in a hurry and forget their lunch money, who cover themselves with Band-Aids and sing off-key, who squeeze toothpaste all over the sink, who slurp their soup. But we are also responsible for those who never get dessert, who have no safe blanket to drag behind them, who watch their parents watch them suffer, who don't have rooms to clean up, whose pictures aren't on anyone's dresser, whose monsters are real. We are responsible for children who spend all their allowance before Tuesday, who throw tantrums in the grocery store and pick at their food, who like ghost stories, who shove dirty clothing under the bed and never rinse the tub, who get visits from the tooth fairy, who don't like to be kissed in front of the carpool, who squirm in church and scream on the phone, whose tears sometimes make us laugh, and whose smiles can make us cry. And we are responsible for those whose nightmares come in the daytime, who will eat anything, who have never seen a dentist, who aren't spoiled by anybody, who go to bed hungry and cry themselves to sleep, who live and move but have no being. We are responsible for children who want to be carried and for those who must, for those we never give up on, for those who don't get a second chance, for those we smother, and for those who will grab the hand of anybody kind enough to offer it. I think that says it all as far as what we believe and what we do and why we volunteer for this. So thank you very much.
Green carpet back to recognize Ed Kidston back here at Northwest State. And Ed, so pleased to have you here and so pleased to have your involvement in your community, doing so many things through your office. It's just wonderful to be able to see the things that you've been able to help make happen.
Well, we care about the people, and I've been at it a long time now, 3 decades, and so hopefully I'm pretty good at it now. You know, I wasn't so much probably in the early years, but we care about the people. We want to keep taxes low and utility rates low and provide the best service possible, and I'm so proud of our community and how we've been able to accomplish that.
And I think that's probably a key note. I mean, for folks who want to be involved in their communities and they want to make a difference somehow, we all start, in a spot where we're not going to be 100% on all this hit rate. It's just great to have people involved and people like you to be able to help shepherd them into the roles that they want to do in their community.
Well, and it's so great in a small community because everybody knows everybody, okay? When a tragedy happens, it happens to all of us. When great things happen, it happens to all of us. And so we're almost like one big family. And if you can keep that momentum moving in a positive direction, that's the best, a leadership can do. And that's what I've attempted to do. And I think that, we are progressing in such a positive way that, it attracts other folks to invest in our community and see what's going on and be positive about the future.
And I think it would be great to note, too, that, we obviously all love our hometowns, but because we choose to live where we live here in Northwest Ohio, we love the small town life and the opportunities that offers to us as communities, as companies, as all kinds of different people working together.
You know, it's funny you say that, because that is the key to managing growth in a small town. Because small town people do not want to become big town people, but yet you have to have growth all the time. You know, my father used to say, who served mayor 20 years before me, okay, town's either growing or it's dying, okay? So you have to be able to manage that growth in such a way that you don't lose your small town atmosphere, but yet you have enough to tax base to educate your children, you know, pay for fire trucks and build new streets and that type of thing. So that's the tricky part about managing a small town.
It is indeed. Provide the service and support and make everybody happy to be there and to live their lives.
Yes, that's right. And, you know, having so many people involved in the community in different aspects, whether it's football boosters, athletic boosters, music boosters. The American Legion is very, very strong in our community. They have fish fries every Friday or every other Friday. And, I mean, you know, they're always first in line at the American Legion when we need to, you know, build a new, have new equipment for the park or something like that. And when you get all those groups moving in the same direction, you really can have a really quality life, and that's what we strive for.
Well, Ed, thanks for being at Green Carpet tonight, and thanks for your service to your community.
Thank you very much, and I certainly appreciate this. I'm very humbled by the honor, and, you know, look forward to a great night.
The third award tonight is our individual award winner in making a difference, Ed Kinston. Ed Kinston proudly calls Pioneer, Ohio his home. For 28 years, he has served as the mayor of Pioneer, but he makes a difference through his dedication to the community and its families. Ed Kinston and some of his causes include advocate for Pioneer residents, 4-H, North Central Athletics, Williams County Fair Foundation, church missions, traveling sports teams, Pioneer's summer recreation programs, the United Way of Williams County, Pioneer Community Church. Ed was recognized for outstanding service by the Ohio Music Education Association for his generosity, including personal donations. He also helped raise over $250,000 to start up the North Central football program. Ed has served as the vice president and president of St. John Lutheran Church, and his mission is to continually make Pioneer the best place it can be, to encourage families to stay. Congratulations to Ed Kinston for making a difference in Northwest Ohio.
So I've known Ed primarily through my work with the village. He's been mayor there for roughly 20 years. He had been mayor prior to my time coming aboard, and then he ran again for mayor and was elected, I think, around 2004.
Ed Kinston and I served on the Ohio Turnpike for many years together. I think I was appointed by Governor Taft a little earlier than he was, but he was on the board with me many years. We served as two of the Republican members.
Today, Ed sits on the Ohio Municipal Electric Association Board of Directors, and for many years I had a dual role. I was a vice president or executive vice president at AMP, and also the executive director of the OMEA. So I worked closely with Bruce, and I worked closely with Ed.
Well, the very first thoughts about Ed's compassion was his family and the village of Pioneer. It's probably best not to mess with either one. He is very passionate.
One of the efforts that Ed spearheaded was a utility rebate program. And I think it started out at $100 per utility customer. And it's grown a little bit over the years, but each year the Village of Pioneer has been able to give back to its citizens an electric rate credit. I believe the last year was for either $150 or $200.
Ed has probably changed many lives in the village of Pioneer by expanding the village, improving our village parks for the children, securing many, many grants for various projects, and bolstering our industrial base.
We started a grassroots
efforts to get football into North Central. And from that point, Ed became more involved. I started knowing Ed more from, I guess, from a business and a benefactor standpoint.
The word that comes to mind, and I mean this in the most positive way, is tenacious.
He's tenacious. He's determined. He has big, bold ideas. He's done some pretty remarkable things in his business career.
When he decides that there's a project out there that he thinks the village should be involved with, he's extremely driven at rallying the village as a whole.
There are certain things that he wants to see happen in Pioneer, making sure that the energy costs are affordable, that Pioneer remains affordable, and it's not affordable through taxation. It's what can we do from a business standpoint? How can we attract more businesses? He wants to make sure that this area is safe, that it's well kept.
He is willing to step out of his comfort zone and do things that he knows needs to be done, and sometimes they're very difficult.
A lot of people don't know this, but the fact that you're driving 70 miles an hour on Ohio roadways, to a large part had to do with our Turnpike Commission and Ed Kitston. Well, with Ed's help, we pushed it through. A year later, our fatalities dropped on the Turnpike because now we had trucks and cars going, in essence, the same speed.
He has supported North Central's athletics, their arts, their academics. So been very supportive over the years of the programs that North Central is doing.
So when we were preparing to build a new elementary, he served as the project manager and did not charge for any of his services.
It takes so many people behind the scenes to make things successful, and that Ed, you're instrumental in doing that for not just our football program, but for many programs.
Ed, let me say this. I really enjoyed working with you. You've been a good friend, but more importantly, you've done a lot of good things for people, and you're certainly deserving of this award.
Congratulations on this honor, and I hope that you enjoy it, and kudos to your family for all the support they provide.
You've done so much for the village of Pioneer and Northwest Ohio over the years. It's been my honor to work with you, and I look forward to continuing to do so.
I don't know how you set through videos like that and then come up here and speak, but either they're good liars or I'm halfway as a good guy, I guess. So, just a short story about that 70 mile an hour. I did push that through when I was on the Turnpike Commission. And the truckers organization was the ones that fought it the most, and I was shocked at that. I thought I was going to be their best friend, and they were the ones that were against it. But it went through, as Dave said, and you know, those are some of the battles that are worth fighting for. You know, making a difference doesn't happen in a vacuum, and there's just so many people up here, so many people that should be up here with me, because it takes a community to make things happen. First, I want to thank the people that appeared on the video, and Amanda, who nominated me out of the blue. You know, that was quite a shocker, and I appreciate that. And I also want to thank the Northwest State Foundation. This great institution is what tonight is all about, right? For generations, they have been a guiding light for young minds who want to play and work and live in our neighborhood, and that's a great thing. Seeing the video clip for the first time tonight with you folks, I've been asking myself for several weeks now, what was it about me that the committee focused in on? What was the accomplishments for my selection? And if it was my business interest, if so, then I want to share tonight with all my employees, so many of them over the years who worked beside me in pursuit of success. Some of these individuals worked with me for 30 or 40 years. I mean, think about that. 40 years. They had the same dream as I had. And we worked together, and we had a lifetime of commitment to a common cause. And we did a lot of successful things. So tonight, for all my employees, I share this award with them. The second thing the committee could have looked at is my almost now 3 decades of serving as the Village of Pioneer mayor. You don't have to know me very long to know that I love my community. And I'm so proud of my community, where the quality of living is high and the cost of living is low. In Pioneer, we have conquered the fear of failure, and we think outside the box very, very often. I share tonight with all the council members. I have a table full of them here, both past and present, council members, administrators, fiscal officers, all the departments, but most of all, the great citizens of our village. They've elected me 7 times now, and they have had faith in me, and I've tried to lead them in a positive way, and I think the village has benefited from that. As we celebrate Pioneer's 175th birthday, which is, by the way, is why I have this beard. I'm usually clean shaven, okay? This is the second time in my life I've had a beard. Once 25 years ago. It was red then. I knew it wasn't going to be red this time. So, as we celebrate our 175th birthday, you know, government still works in Pioneer, Ohio, for the people. And I'm so proud of that. And I believe our founding fathers would be proud of that. Now, my father and mother were second to none. 3 brothers, a sister, relatives, in-laws, and friends. So many people have had a positive influence on my life. And so tonight I share this award with them as well. But the group that deserves this award most tonight are the ones that are most closest to my heart. You know, it turns out that nothing in life is more challenging than being related to a dreamer and doer. Because today's social media crowd, I think it is safe to say, never heard President Bush's speech of a kinder, gentler nation. But all the negative noise included, I still believe making a difference matters. We are all here tonight. This institution is here because making a difference matters. And if we are to remain the greatest country on earth, which I believe we are, then young minds must be filled with the promise of tomorrow. And if imitation is still the world's greatest form of flattery, then my life is blessed beyond measure. I see a beautiful wife, mother, and grandmother, and she's still at the top of her game. With 3 children, their spouses, and 7 grandchildren, I see intact family units, great fathers and mothers, responsible, respectful citizens. But I also see sports team captains, student council, and class presidents. I see successful business owners. I see the president of the Visitors Bureau, president of the Chamber of Commerce, president of our local school board. I see president of our church, elder of our church, and parish education. Tonight,
this award belongs to this group. The group I get to call mine. And because with a humble heart in all of them, I see me. And for that single blessing, I thank my Lord and Savior. Thank you all.
Green Carpet Event wouldn't be the Green Carpet Event without talking to one of the key people behind the foundation here at Northwest State Community College. Peter Beck is with us. And Peter, thanks again for having us here, for the foundation putting this on and having a great time, but doing this for a real reason for the people who walk these halls behind us in Northwest State every day.
Well, thank you. I'm very happy that we can honor the individuals, company, and organization tonight once again that do so much in changing lives for people within our communities in this area. So we're excited about being able to do it again this year. It's a tradition that's very important to us in the foundation, and it actually helps us in creating scholarships and dollars for scholarships for people that go to school here and in turn end up working for many companies within our area.
We talk about the numbers at Northwest State all the time of people who attend Northwest State and are planning on staying right here at home in Northwest Ohio somewhere. And to be able to give them the services that people expect in larger communities or elsewhere, you don't have to leave Northwest Ohio to get the education that you need and that you deserve. You can stay right here, raise your family, do the things you want to do, and the foundation and the Green Carpet Event helps that.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe this year we were around 300 students that we were able to provide scholarships for. We continue to generate the dollars that continue to allow us to do that. We're just under a milestone next year. I hope our milestone is that since 2010, we were able to give out $10 million. We're just shy of that this year.
And the stories that the students can tell, if you talk to anybody, and we all know somebody who has gone through Northwest State and gotten the education and moved on, the stories that they can tell, it's made possible by the people that care about them right here in this community.
Absolutely. There's many stories of individuals that would not be able to get a degree if it wasn't for our foundation. And if you really think hard about that, if we did not have this college in this area supporting our companies, and whether it's a large company or a small company or ma and pa, we wouldn't be able to do what we have, and then we wouldn't have the growth that we've had in this area either. So this institution is very important, and the individuals that come to this institution are very important.
It makes a difference, and Green Carpet makes a difference. And Peter, thanks for your time and your leadership.
Oh, thank you very much. It is such a pleasure once again that we are able to gather this evening to recognize our 2024 Making a Difference Award recipients.
You need your glasses.
No, my font's big enough. I said the right thing, I guess. This evening's event would not have happened if it were not for the team of hard-working individuals making our Green Carpet event come together, and we are very grateful to our foundation and college staff, student workers, and volunteers involved in making this an exceptional occasion. Your efforts that you put forth is very much appreciated, and we thank you. Grants Catering assisted with providing wonderful food along with the Northwest State. I went to school here a few years ago, and I never remember the food being this good, but it was very good, thank you. Joel Miller, once again, thank you for your continued support, taking the time out to be our Masters of Ceremony and helping make tonight an event memorable. As in past, your support is very much appreciated. Can we have a bigger round of applause? Also, let's recognize this evening's entertainment by the Piano Wars with a big round of applause. I've seen a few dueling piano entertainment in my life, and I have to say they are probably at the top. And they've done a great job, and as their performance with their entertainment while helping us raise dollars for our students. I can't believe $7,012 was raised tonight, and that's all contributing from you, and thank you very much. Our foundation would like to thank the many individuals and companies that provided scholarships, sponsorships for the silent auction items for this event. Your support helps contribute in making our evening successful. I would like to recognize a talented and very supportive group of foundation board members who are exceedingly generous with their time, experience, and guidance. These members who live in our communities we serve ensure that the foundation remains committed to our mission in helping change the lives of many students who attend this great institution. Our foundation would not be successful without the leadership and dedication of our foundation director of development, Robin Wilcox. Robin continues to be very passionate about the students who attend this college, and she works endless hours making sure this foundation continues to be focused on doing what is necessary to deliver the support needed for our students. Kimberly White, thank you for sharing your heartfelt story of the personal challenges that you were faced. There are many stories of students just like Kimberly that are faced with these life challenges, and each story is unique and personal, and this is a reason our foundation continues to be inspired and work hard raising dollars to provide educational opportunities which help students position themselves for success. Kimberly, you are a very remarkable person, and we wish you all the very best for your future. Keep focused on your dreams as you continue to work hard, and success will follow. Each year in April, our College Foundation hosts an award reception that provides an opportunity for students to be recognized as they receive their scholarships. The reception also provides an opportunity for them to meet the donors responsible for investing in their lives. At this year's event, we had the pleasure of handing out over $800,000 in scholarships, which support 307 students that will continue their education. Looking back since 2010, our foundation has provided over $9.6 million in scholarships to individuals who live and work in our communities. Before being here tonight in support of our Making a Difference recipients, you continue to help contribute towards providing scholarships. Last year's event, through the generosity of past attendees and sponsorships, we were able to raise just over $64,000. Over the past 14 years, we have honored 42 Making a Difference recipients. These awards are a chance to say thank you and show recognition and appreciation for people who are passionate in making lives better for others. We are so fortunate that in our communities, they are filled with such good people, organizations, and companies just like tonight's 3 recipients. The Northwest State Community College, along with our foundation, understand it is important to recognize the many that do so much. On behalf of Northwest State Community College Foundation Board, we congratulate our 2024 Making a Difference Award recipients, Davlin Company, Symphony of the Trees, and Edward Kingston. Your influence that you made towards the lives of others is so important for our communities as you foster hope and enrich lives for many. It is with my pleasure that you now are added to the names of our growing list of past recipients, and to name a few: Van Wert County Foundation, Bard Manufacturing, Terry Hendricks Ford and Chrysler Dodge Jeep, Norm Zeider Swanton Welding, Farmers Merchant State Bank, Dental Excellence of Napoleon Delta and Sylvania, State Bank and Trust, Henry County Hospital, the Bryan Area Foundation, North Star Blue Scope Steel, Parkview Physicians Group, Ed and Carol Nofzinger, John Wilson, Erie Solder, the Solder Companies, and Denise McCulley. In closing, I want to thank each and every one of you for being part of this evening and supporting this college, but most of all, supporting the students who attend. It is so important that we as a community work together and help the many reach their goals for success. Once again, congratulations, Davlin, Symphony of the Trees, and Edward Kingston. You truly are outstanding, compassionate leaders who value importance in making a difference for so many in our communities. Good night.
Discover top quality healthcare education at Northwest State. Our instructors have real-world experience, so they know how to prepare you for great career opportunities. Northwest State, where you'll get the top quality healthcare education you need to succeed.